All right, big news from the community manager about the Europe server world size and starting conditions. By the time you're watching this video, it's probably going to be live, the EU server, and they are going to do something that we were not expecting. So it says just here, hey, official launch of Albion Online Europe server is coming soon, blah, blah, blah. And now to make this start a smooth and exciting experience for everyone, we are taking a couple of precautionary measures to make sure everyone has a good gameplay experience. First of all, we will adjust the world size at the start to match the pace of the players moving into the world. Secondly, territory prime times for Albion Online Europe will be different from those in Americas to focus more on the time zones of players living in the Europe and MENA regions. We anticipate Albion in Europe to grow over time just as Albion Asia did. In short, the world will start a bit smaller than it currently is on Albion Americas and Asia to ensure enough players density for a good PvP experience. This affects mostly Outlands, Black Zones, and the Rose of Avalon, where some of the zones will be covered in thick fog and will not let you pass in them. We're planning to open up more worlds after 8 days. So it doesn't even say that they're going to open everything in 8 days. We also have some starting conditions relating to seeded items, the black market, and crafting plots planned that you can find at the bottom of the post. Okay, so I think in terms of PvP, this is actually good. Because players won't just roam around the zones with basically not seeing any opponents for PvP. I think, though, this definitely limits the advantage of those who actually bought the Founders Pack in terms of gathering, in terms of taking advantage of specific zones. So this is like a good and a bad, in my opinion. Good because, yes, for PvP, you see more people, it's more contested. Guilds and players who've bought the Founders Pack probably won't have control over a lot of the zones just because it will be so contested. But also at the same time, that kind of defeats the purpose of actually buying the Founders Pack, because if you open everything, there will be less people per zone. And that's a good thing for gatherers, for crafters, for smaller guilds, because they get to control zones that are not really contested. Right? So these are bad, really bad start if you bought the Founders Pack and you're one of those 3 or even more types of players. But again, this is a good for PvP though. Really good for PvP. But I don't think this is a good thing overall. But we'll see. It's their game. They are also saying that they're planning to open more of the world in 8 days. It doesn't mean they're going to open everything in 8 days. They're going to slowly build it up and opening zones after 8 days. I wonder how long they're actually going to open things up, because it will take 3 months, 4 months, 2 weeks, much smaller zone. So they're anticipating, I would say, less players than NA, than Asia. That's why they're actually limiting the zones that you can actually enter. We also have some starting conditions relating to seeded items, the black market, and crafting plots planned, as you can see. So this is the first steps. The zones will be available in the Outlands, obviously. Oh, there's still a lot. The first step, these will be the zones available in the Outlands. Okay, still a lot. Still a lot of zones. On the Royal Continent, only these 11 zones will be locked at the start. All right, other starting conditions. The seeded items on the marketplace. There will be mules for 5,000 silver, carrot soup for 500 silver, bean salad for 500 silver available on all royal marketplaces, which means starter cities as well as the main cities except Caerleon. So mules are going to be affordable. No one's going to be buying mules from the starter city and like dominating the mule market. The carrot soup is a really good start. Although again, the bean salad, really good for a lot of players, right? Really, really good for a lot of players. But those who bought the founder packs, I feel like is getting screwed over here. Because if you bought the founders pack, you have more days than everyone else who did not. That gives you an opportunity to dominate the early market, especially if you have premium, and you do have premium. Plant a lot of crops, you craft a lot of food that a lot of players, a lot of new players actually use, and make a lot of silver. In this case, they're basically cornering the two most popular in the beginning, the bean salad and the carrot soup. Although you still have the fish, obviously you still have the fish, but carrot soup at 500 silver is basically going to be the go-to. Again, really good for new players, really, really good for everyone else. But for those who bought the founders pack, they're getting screwed over here. Yeah, so much for the open world. No more Mule Island starter transport, no more. We will add a limited amount of crystal shards to each marketplace to make them available in EU server, with which you will be able to craft the first couple of crystal weapons. Those will be available at a rather high price. We will add a limited amount of crystal shards to each marketplace. Does that limited amount mean per player? Crystal shards. Okay, because if they don't add crystal shards in the EU server, there's no way to get crystal shards. So this kind of makes sense, but like, how are we defining limited amount? Is it first come, first serve, or what? There's still a very confusing part, but it's a good way to create the crystal weapons there and not making them lag 3 more months. I don't know how they're going to implement this though. And they said that those will be available at a rather high price. Again, these are so new, and I wish they actually introduced this or announced this before they launched the founder packs, because I feel like the founder pack buyers are getting screwed over here, like really bad. All right, black market value generation. The black market will build up its value slower for individual items of tier 5 and above. Okay, so this is their solution. This is achieved by increasing the amount of orders generated for those tiers, but keeping their silver pool the same. Okay, again, they are screwing over the founder pack buyers. This is insane. Because I mean, some people are going to have different opinions on this, but I think when you buy the founder pack, you are sort of buying an advantage to everyone else who hasn't bought the founders pack. And in this case, they're kind of just nerfing everything that you can do as a founder pack owner. Because the black market is one of the best money-making method out there, especially in the beginning. That's why you get to craft bags, get up to tier 8. But in this case, they are slowing it down. Yeah, they're limiting the hardcore game grinders, yeah. There were a couple of, I would say, complaints. Or a couple of complaints in the Discord channel where they are saying, oh, those who can craft tier 8s are going to be billionaires. I think that should be an advantage though. If you are going to no life grind up to tier 8 and sell to the black market, I think that should be an advantage to you, right? Rather than it being negated or nerfed for someone who bought the founders pack at $200. Crafting plots. We will purchase the middle-most expensive plots in every royal city at the start of the game. What? Those might be used to put down stations if we think it's necessary. They're controlling too much. Oh, bro, good luck to the EU players. I mean, just good luck to the EU players. Yeah. I mean, again, this is really good for the majority of people, so no one actually can monopolize. But again, it defeats the purpose of Albion Online's player-driven economy. Now, players who grind for the silver to buy the plots can then be nerfed if the Game Master account is used to buy the middle most expensive plots and sort of dictating how much the silver cost is going to be. I don't know how hands-on they're going to do this, but necessary plots, they're pretty much saying, player-driven economy, screw you. Founder pack buyers, screw you. You gave us the money already. We're not going to give you the benefits. Wow. If there's a refund, I would refund this. That is wild, actually. Could you also add the mammoth babies in limited quantity in each marketplace at a very high price? Absolutely not. You shouldn't. I'm assuming meant to smear pay to win into this based on the limited knowledge and crystal weapons. You'll also add limited skins for 50 mil. Oh, it's sarcasm. Okay. Okay, I'm on this guy's side now. This is sarcasm. Why would you actually add highly desired limited item to marketplace? Are these weapons needed for Guild ZVZ content, or is it really about trying to get people to swipe? Oh, was it too unpractical to add crystal shards in a limited drop event rewards and new server start? True. This seems to be an easy way to bundle in a good way. And here we are looking at whoever gets the most silver quickly. Ooh, the pay-to-win aspect of it. I did not consider that because you're right. They can just buy gold with real money, get the crystal weapons, and be OP. Oh, okay. So this is, for anyone wondering, 50% and 10%. Okay, it's not too bad. 50% is not too bad. Oh, they do have it. EU World Release Map. What is this? So it's just a YouTube video. Oh. Oh, that's the release map? Oh, there you go. There you go. That looks better. That looks a lot better rather than a list. Interesting though. What do you guys think of these changes for Albion Online start? I personally don't like it. I think it's limiting. It's controlling what players can do. I don't like that. The biggest reason why I wanted to play Albion Online, even if like it resets, is the player-driven economy and actually people having advantage because they paid real money. They paid real money. It's not only for the skins and for the initial launch early access. It's because they want to take advantage of the early access. But if you're limiting them, like buying plots, limiting maps, although the limited maps may not be as much because it's just 50%. So it's probably like okay for the maps, but the buying of plots, the crystal shards and all that, I don't know. I'm of the opinion that it's not really good when it comes to encouraging the player-driven economy of Albion Online, which is the core of the game. But let me know in the comment section below.